My stingy stepfather threw a tantrum when my mom bought me a car and demanded that I give the car to him, so I told my mom to divorce him. When I was 13, my mom remarried and her new husband moved in with us. From day one, he demanded that I call him dad even though I didn't want to. I talked to my mom and thankfully she took my side, but he wasn't happy at all. Since my mom wasn't home much, he got permission from her to discipline me whenever I was out of line. If I didn't wash the dishes when he told me to, he would take my phone away and wouldn't give it back until the next day. This one time, I got really sick and was even having trouble standing up. But my stepfather thought that I was faking it and just trying to get off from going to school. So he forced me to put on some clothes and kicked me out, telling me to walk to school by myself. I cried the entire way and somehow made it to class, but fainted immediately because I had a high fever. My mom came home and took care of me, while my stepfather told her a lie about how he was worried and tried to prevent me from going. I tried to tell her the truth, but she didn't believe me and thought that I was just hallucinating, since her husband would never do that. I know this sounds weird, but that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was that whenever my mom did come home, stepfather would demand that she take him on dates and spend time with him instead of me. I really wanted to go out with them and do fun activities with my mom. But at that time, I was just too scared to speak up. So I would end up just staying home while my mom took her husband to see the world. But on my 16th birthday, I finally found the courage to call my mom and talk about what was going on with my stepfather. She still didn't believe me, but I think she realized that she needed to spend more time with me or we won't have a relationship in the future. So she started taking me out to eat and play bowling and even to some of her business trips. My stepfather didn't like that at all, and often threw tantrums about how I didn't need my mom but he did. Thankfully, my mom still hung out with me and we became really close. She assured me that I could stay in her house for as long as I wanted, and didn't have to move out at 18. Like always, my stepfather argued that what she told me was unfair and the house belonged to him once I was an adult. But my mom quickly shot him down by saying that her son should always stay close to her. Now, I never asked my mom to leave her husband or tried to stir up problems between them because I saw that she was genuinely happy with him sometimes. But on my 18th birthday, he officially took it too far. I was just relaxing at home, getting ready to leave and hang out with my friends. I thought that my mom was away on business again and was going to miss my birthday like she did every single year. But out of nowhere, the doorbell rang and my mom surprised me with a massive cake in her hands. I was about to cry when she shouted happy birthday and hugged her while saying, "You being here is the best gift, thanks mom." But she told me to hold my horses, because she had another gift for me. She took me outside and showed me the new Toyota that she had bought for me. I never had an interest in sports cars even though I knew my mom could afford them, and just wanted a simple, reliable car that won't break down. So I was really happy and thanked her a lot. But then my stepfather came storming out of the house, screaming at us to stop. He started going on about how it was unfair that my mom had bought a car for me and not for him. According to him, I was perfectly capable of getting a job and buying my own stuff, and he was the one who needed help. He said that my mom can make this right by snatching the keys to the car from me and giving them to him. When me and my mom refused, he went absolutely ballistic. He grabbed a rock and threw it at the windshield, making a huge crack in it. Then he smirked and said that he would do it again if we didn't do what he had asked. I was about to say something when my mom surprised me by yelling at him and telling him to go inside. It was then that I realized that my stepfather hadn't even wished me a happy birthday, and only talked to me so she could snatch away my gift. I also realized that if he cared so little about me, then there's no way he actually loved my mom and not just her money. While he stood there, still demanding that I hand over the car to him, I started making a plan about how to make my mom realize the same thing as me. You can now check if there is a part 2 by clicking share and more.